I just been getting my weight up, can't stop to be paid up. I know them niggas gon' hate.
All right, welcome to a new AVONTII'S The Way podcast, where we got everything you need in store. Oh my God, my phone just fell. It's all good though, but Sean, my boy, how you living today?
Man, you already know everything good.
Good? Everything good? Everything good. What we just do? We just had a conversation with Josh and Darren, right?
Yes, sir.
How did that go?
Hey, I really like it, man, because you really telling people who you are, where you started from. Like, you even went back all the way from the start. Like
Elementary school, right?
Elementary school, come to find out, both went to the same elementary school, middle school, and your brother, your older brother, went to his high school, then he transferred to the high school we both went to, so it was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is crazy because I didn't even know, but because check me out though, we didn't know how close we was with Josh and how close we all family in this world.
It's really a family.
It's a whole family. It's OTF. And so I'm about to do something. I'm about to bring somebody very special onto our podcast for today, onto The Way. And I just want everybody to get y'all hearts and minds ready and satisfied. Sit down. If you're watching the video at home or something, on YouTube, on the page or something, eating a bowl of cereal or something, just really tap in. Or if you're doing some other things I can't say on camera, it's all good, it's all cool. I just want all of y'all's attention on me right now while I introduce DJ Hargrave. How's it going, man?
What's up, man?
You doing all right?
Good, man. How about y'all? Great.
Good. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today, man. I'm really looking forward to what we got to talk about today in so many different ways, man. So I know we don't waste time when we get into this thing, so we just go hop right into it, man. Just tell me about yourself, just a little bit of profile, like who are you, man?
Sure. So I was born and raised here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, city of arts and innovation. So I have a little bit of that creative blood in me just by default. Grew up, basically from age like 3 to 17, it was just all basketball, man. That was all I did.
Hooper.
Yes, sir.
Hooper.
Yep, RJ Reynolds basketball, man. That's born and raised. So, man, just hooped really my whole life, man. And then from basketball, that's where I found my passion for menswear, men's fashion. And just kind of decided, where I wanted to go to kind of, get my degree and start to pursue that. So I chose High Point University. When I was at HBU, man, that was when I was really introduced to entrepreneurship culture. Mm-hmm. That's when I first learned even what an entrepreneur was really. Right. I learned about starting your own business, learned about networking, like all these things that are kind of common sense to us now. Right. That's where I learned all those things, man. So
at High Point.
Yeah, at High Point University, man. Spent all my time there just networking, building my blog, building my personal brand around menswear and men's fashion.
Oh, yeah.
And led to this, that, and there, and here we are today. I was an only child, man, so I've always been like creative.
Dolo.
Yeah, always
you had
solo.
Yeah, you had to. You didn't have no choice when you was brought into this world. You was like, I have to get it on my own. I got to figure this thing out because I don't got nobody really helping me. I don't got no brother. I don't got no sister, no sibling. That's what's up, man. I really love to hear. So how long was you at High Point? Like a couple years?
So I was there all 4 years.
Okay, so 4 years. Okay. Because I don't know anybody personally. No, I'm gonna take that back. No, I'm gonna say I don't know. I know people that go to school at High Point. What's the other colleges in High Point? It's High Point University. Is that the only college? Okay. I think it's another one, right?
As far as I know, it's the only one. There actually is another one. I just can't remember the name of it. It's like a little small school because I know people play basketball.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, I think I know somebody that one. But anyway, bro, that's amazing, bro. I love to hear. So you got to learn all of your game at High Point for entrepreneurship, and now you get to be on our podcast and tell people about it and get down to the who am I, like who is DJ Hargrave, bro. And I really appreciate you coming on here, man. I cannot say this enough, bro, because we want to take it up. We want to take it further. Okay, so fashion. You said you got your sense of creating clothes and fashion because of basketball. Like, what was the link between basketball and fashion?
Yeah, so if you're a fan of like the NBA, you kind of know that a big part of the pregame is the cameras being on the players walking in and what they're wearing. Yeah. And so that's where it initially sparked because once basketball was over, I was like, man, like what's something else I can do that's still kind of related to basketball? I thought about being like a coach or a trainer or doing all these other different things, man. But I was like, what about that clothes thing, that fashion thing, man. Like,
Clothes thing.
yeah, not a lot of people talk about that when it comes to basketball. So that piqued my curiosity, man, watching like LeBron, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, all those guys, seeing what they wear. And that's when it piqued my curiosity. I started going to like Barnes & Noble, reading GQ magazine, all those different menswear publications and stuff, man, and just really built my knowledge. So that was the connect between basketball and fashion for me.
Oh yeah, so you really tapped in. You tapped in a long time ago. You knew what you wanted to do. How many years ago was that for you?
Yeah. That was let's see, that was 7 years ago, man. I was 17 when I first started.
And we just celebrating a 5-year anniversary of Anew the Clothing LLC itself. And this man has been working for 7 years in the fashion industry and doing all these other types of things. So, for the people that's not too familiar with Fashion Week, Twin City Fashion Week, can you tell us a little bit about Twin City Fashion Week? Like, what is that? Like, what did it do? What y'all do?
Sure. Yeah, man. So, Twin City Fashion Week, it's just an annual celebration of, like I said earlier, the City of Arts and Innovation, man, Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem has a big textile manufacturing history. Yep. So just a really big history in textile manufacturing, man. With Hanes Brands being here, and some of the big brands like Champion and Hanes Brands just coming out of here. It was a big deal for us to be able to celebrate those smaller designers, giving them the spotlight. So basically, it's every spring around Easter. And what we do is we'll bring in like 5 or 6 designers from either in-state or out-of-state. They come and show a collection. We get models from across North Carolina, some from outside North Carolina. We have sponsors mainly from Winston-Salem, man. And we just come together and we just put something together for the small up-and-coming designers, from people who are making stuff out of the living room to literally people that have their own brick-and-mortar like retail stores here in Winston-Salem and in the area. And just give them a platform.
I like that because, like, not a lot of people from Winston-Salem get the recognition that they deserve, like, just based off of where we're from. Like, it's not really a big city, but if you kind of think about it, we don't come up, like, just overall, like, the state overall, big come up, like, Charlotte, Greensboro, everywhere. Like, so I like that idea, like, what you done.
Thank you, man.
Because North Carolina in itself has so much history behind it that a lot of they don't even teach us our state history in like grade school. But there's so much more to a simple city such as Winston-Salem than just everything you hear about any other, you know what I'm saying? Because we do so much. Like I know being raised here, there's been so many different community things that I've taken part of, you know what I'm saying, and actually been able to do things for community. Like I can say that Winston-Salem is a community. Like it really is a community-based city. We love our people and we do anything to put our people on. But as far as not getting enough recognition for us just being simply creative, I know so many guys. Like we just had this conversation not too long ago. Me and Shaw just had this conversation about the guys that we played football with growing up, Little League, Pop Warner, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that we was looking at like, yo, you're good. You're amazing. You know what I'm saying? You're going to it. You're at least going D1.
D1, yeah.
If you don't make it to the league, you're at least going D1. From people we seen when we were in middle school. You know what I'm saying? And now we got to a point where we've been in college and past college, and now we're back at those same people that we used to look at, and now they're the ones that didn't do any of it. Didn't do college at all, didn't continue. A lot of people didn't continue to play football, play sports in high school because life had gotten them quit. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many reasons behind why, potential is wasted in a sense, because we here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, I know so many people. I know artists, I know rappers, I know people who really make good music. I know people who do good artwork, you know what I'm saying? I know people who, prime example, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much here, and it's like, well, why aren't we out? You know what I'm saying? Why doesn't everybody know what Winston-Salem, North Carolina is? You know what I'm saying? Because North Carolina is a known state, but it's like the underdog. Like we was talking about with Josh and Darren earlier, like, we live for them underdog moments, and I really do truly feel like this year, these upcoming years, is going to be a breakaway point, portion of Winston-Salem. We're going to take off. Like everything is going to go up for the state, because I feel like staying down, it's a motto, it's a mentality. You know what I'm saying? Staying down and understanding that everything comes in perfect timing. If you wait on it, it's gonna be everything and more when it comes to you, when it gets to you. And so that leads me to my next point, right? So mentality, man. I watch some of your YouTube videos already, and I'm sitting and I'm tapped in. And I watch it from second 0 to the last second of the video. And because I'm like, this man is really, he's not selling me anything, but in a sense, he's selling me a mentality.
Advice too.
And advice, life advice, everyday suggestions. Like and just one example when you was like, what do you call it? A spot where you just put all these stuff at.
Oh yeah, the layout spot.
Layout spot. Layout spot. I remember I watched the video, it was like, just having a layout spot. If nobody knows what a layout spot technically is, in the words of DJ Hargrave, it's a spot where, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna put your essential 3. You know what I'm saying? You got your phone. Ooh, I'm so sorry. You got your phone, your keys, and you got your wallet, right? That's just the natural 3 for any human being. You need to have them. Before I leave the house, all right, well, phone, wallet, keys over there. If I left something, okay, I know I can come back because I got my keys. I know I can call somebody because I got my phone. Yeah. And I know I can, if it all come to words, I got my wallet on me, so I can pick them. That is so important because say you're rushing out of the house one day. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I woke up late. Oh, I gotta go. So now your brain, in the morning time, first of all, in the morning time, you're not thinking straight anyway because you're foggy. You're coming out of a deep slumber, like where your body was completely not even conscious. You know what I'm saying? And so you're coming out of that and you're like, oh my God. So for a person like you, say you had to hit the gym in the morning and you woke up late. Oh man, I'm gonna skip brushing my teeth too. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I gotta go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? That way, I got my layout spot right at my door. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be able to just you got to hit the gym. We out. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. Just simple little tips, simple mentalities that I feel like everybody should take part in or at least try in their own lives because it can only enhance it. It can only make it better. You know what I'm saying? So I really do. I appreciate your videos. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be watching them as we continue to make our videos and things like that. I'm going to continue to watch your videos and get tips on how to live my life, and I'm sure that's a goal of your YouTube channel, right? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Just expand on it. I just got started this past August or September, so I'm still in the learning process, man. So, but like you said, right now it's mainly about men's style, men's fashion, but a lot of this stuff can apply to anybody. I'm sure the females can take something from that too. With the layout spot and just a lot of things I talk about on the channel, man. Eventually, the goal is to expand into more life topics because, man, I mean, like you said, man, it was 7 years ago when I started not just working in fashion, but in like personal development overall. So I've read a lot of books. I've had about 6.5 years of experience in business. There's a lot in here, man. I just don't want to spill it all out there on our YouTube channel. Like, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to build a reputation on something. So just starting with Fashion Man and eventually the goal, like you said, is to expand.
So one of your videos I seen, you was talking about style over fashion. So when was the time in your life where you realized, all right, I need to start focusing on my style instead of worrying about what I wear in fashion wise?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. No one's ever asked me that.
Yeah, talk about it because I'm interested.
Man, so it was actually after my freshman year at High Point, man, because when I first got to High Point, I dressed to fit in with everyone else. So, I was buying expensive clothes. I had jobs, but I was buying more expensive clothes, wearing a ton of Ralph Lauren, all these.
Whoa, no,
it's cool. You can buy a polo on discount, but you know what I'm saying?
Marshalls?
Yeah.
Marshalls, Ross.
Yeah.
Look, yeah.
I know.
We know.
But the problem is I was buying brand new stuff because I felt like I had to keep up with everybody else.
Yeah.
And so I was just wearing what everybody else was wearing around me. So that's when I was like, okay, first of all, my wallet, I need to figure out what's my style. And then secondly, just for my personal identity, I need to figure out what my personal style is because I don't want to go my whole life looking like everybody else. Now, outside of what everybody was wearing at my school, just with the fashion industry itself, man, it's kind of like what I talked about in the video.
You went to Reynolds, though.
I did. I did go to Reynolds.
You went to Reynolds.
People hold it against me, but I went to Reynolds.
Go ahead. My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off. But you know what I'm saying? You're not from Winston-Salem. You don't know what Reynolds is. Reynolds is a big high school here in Winston-Salem. And Reynolds got the money. You know what I'm saying? It's the money in Reynolds. Some kids walking through Reynolds that got the money. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I feel like you would be in a position where you're looking at everybody else around you. and you're like, oh man, it's a big school, there's a lot of people. Oh yeah, I got to come correct.
Right.
That's a mentality that you have as a male, as a person in general though. Like I gotta come correct and everybody else come correct. So like what really like made you feel like that's something that you had to do though at the time? Like
so it was really man, like I said, it was just I had to find myself, bro. It was just after a few years, you're just kind of like, man, how long am I gonna do this?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or like, what am I gonna do when I graduate?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna just be like a copy and paste of everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna know myself. And your style is a part of that. It's a part of your identity, who you are. And it's always evolving for me. So, you know, just getting outside that box and just trying to figure out who am I? How do I wanna?
Who am I?
Yeah, who am I? That's your question.
The way you were trying to figure out the way back when before the way was the way and now the way is the only way.
Yeah.
Did y'all catch all that? That makes sense, right?
I'm
That
gonna
makes
say
sense.
You're right.
The way is the only way. The who am I? Getting down to the who you are. I actually have wrote something down the other day that I wanted to incorporate into the show, but I didn't know how I wanted to do it. But I feel like this is the perfect time to say it. So the way the who am I, like that's the whole purpose of the podcast. We really want to get to know the person behind the brand, man, the person behind the entrepreneurship, the business, the person behind all of this stuff, right? So I feel like on this podcast, what we want to encourage is be you, B-E-U, okay? And this stands for betterment. We want to better others. You know what I'm saying? These are our goals. For you to be you, for you to be yourself, you need to work on betterment, okay? You need to work on encouragement, okay? And I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I forgot what the you stood for right now, but let me look real quick. No, seriously, because it was definitely be you. Okay, no, let me go back. Betterment, education, and understanding, right? Okay, so these are 3 core principles that I felt like are important to this podcast and to branding yourself or branding your brand farther than just clothes or farther than just whatever your brand is. It's like you're branding yourself. So you need to become better. You need to educate yourself, but you also need to understand, because we can say we're autodidactic, we teach ourselves everything all day long, but do you really understand what you think you're teaching yourself? Or do you understand it from a point of view that works for you in your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many different ways you can take it as far as perspective goes, or how you look at things. Because all day long, you can be a person making good money off of not doing nothing at all. But if it look good, people gonna buy it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. You don't have to be nothing. You could be the slimiest person, the most greasy person I've ever came in contact with. But you making a good living, because what? You know how to make stuff look good for people. And that's what people get caught up in a lot of days, is the illusion of things and how things look instead of how things are, which is why we know we need to find the way, the who am I, brand, bro. Like I said, I'm going to say it all day long. I really appreciate you coming in and talking with us, bro, because you're helping me expand my mind and expand my brain and open up my mind to different perspectives and stuff.
And it's crazy though, because we see it in the video that you make, like you're like literally giving everybody advice of how, like, not only like how to dress, but you're telling them like in the same way to find yourself, like while dressing yourself. And it's crazy because like how you said, if it look good, people will buy it. And you see it in like the big companies that like you said, like Polo, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all that look good, and just by looking good, the name, the brand, oh, I need to buy it, I want to buy it. So people will buy it just because.
Want that.
Not even know,
like, that look good. People like that.
Mm-hmm.
And people that go to my school like that. Mm-hmm. They dress like that. Oh yeah, that look good. That got to be good. What am I wearing?
Yeah, you don't even know. And
what am I wearing?
You wouldn't even know like who the person like behind it really is. Like,
you don't know nothing.
Like, they could be the worst person on this earth and you will never know. But you're just buying the clothes just because of the name and the brand.
Your homie's brand is designer too. I had seen a little post about that the other day. Like your friend brand, the one that the modern grit. Let's talk about modern grit. Let's talk about the designer modern grit brand. Talk to me. Open it up for a later.
The superhero.
Yeah, the superhero. Because my man gonna come in style. He gonna come in his workout clothes, but he also gonna do it to you at the same time. But y'all don't know nothing about that unless y'all tap it to my boy videos on YouTube because everything gonna be right here for you. But real stuff, talk to me about your brand.
Yeah, man. So Modern Grit, the reason I started it is because, and it's an testament of something I've believed in my whole life, man. And it's the premise behind success. So usually when we think about success, we just think about like someone that, you know, you're just making a ton of money, basically. Or, you know, you're well known in a certain field. And that's just kind of as far as it goes. Well, the mission behind Modern Grit is to challenge that definition of success or redefine it into someone that, you know, you're not just successful in your career, but you're also, you know, a successful mom, successful dad, successful, like a great friend, a great, you know, significant other, like everything across the board. If you're a spiritual person, you know, you're a child of God and you pursue excellence of that, whatever it may be. So it's not just about being successful in terms of your career, but in all areas of life. Because what I found is that when you improve one area of your life, like everything else gets better. You know, like if you start taking care of yourself, you start eating right, you start going to the gym, you're mentally sharper, and you start doing better in business. Or if you have, you know, your friends and you focus on becoming a better friend, like that energy you get from them and that just that synergy you have with them, it like gives you a boost. It gives you a boost in real life, you know what I'm saying? So, because you know you have people in your corner.
It does.
So that's the whole definition of Modern Grit, man. The modern is like new, and then grit stands for like success, like a new way to look at success, a new way to look at ambition. So that's what Modern Grit is. I started it back in March of 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. I saw, you know, the world is going crazy, so I'm just gonna like stay locked in and start something.
That's what I needed to hear right there. Because when the pandemic started, when everything started changing in everybody's life, people went straight to panic mode. You know what I'm saying? Which, if you're mentally sound or you're sound within yourself, you know that you don't make decisions off of impulse. You should never make an important decision off of impulse. And so when everybody panicking, it's good to know that you can show that your mentality is already like this. Back when, it didn't take the pandemic for you to be like, oh man, I mean, like you was like, okay, I'm not gonna trip. I'm gonna really go in this now. I know what I had in my head these past 75 years. I'm gonna just really tap in now because I don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. And you don't. And you was talking about success, right? So is it safe to say that success is self-determined? Is that safe to say?
To me, it is.
It is. Yes. I agree. Is that safe to say, Sean? It's self-determined because you have your own goals. You have your own life. Me being a firm believer, you know what I'm saying, in God and my Savior Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know, you know what I'm saying? I know what I believe in. I know my road. I know the path that I want to take in life. And I know what I need to do to get there. And granted, it's not going to be easy.
Never easy.
For anyone. I don't care if you're doing the wrong thing. It ain't going to be easy to do the wrong thing, just like it's not going to be easy to do the right thing.
Facts.
It's not. Because life, it's just life. It's ups and downs all day long, bro. You're going up and down, you're going up and down. But it's. I feel like I just had this conversation with Dan. That's the other member of our podcast team when I was on the way here. She could not be here today with us, but she will be on the next ones that we do. But I was just talking to her about all of this stuff. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to really think about, like, when we get down and we just talk to each other, how much expansion we can do and how much creativity, how many ideas we can bounce off of each other and to get our brands going different places. Because after this little podcast, after this little interview that we do with you, we've already built a relationship because we got to talk. We done built a connection on some real, not what it looked like in high school about when I had my polo on, when I had my Ralph Lauren boots on and stuff like that. And that's how I knew that's who you was. Now you're talking to me about who you are. And so now we automatically got that connection and we linked in. And that's what we want for the rest of our viewers and people to come on and hit us up so we can bring y'all here, so we can do these videos with everybody to get their brand out there, but also in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to be positive. You know what I'm saying? You have to become, are you familiar with alchemy?
Yes.
Yeah. Alchemy. Talk to me. What's alchemy?
Well, I wasn't ready for all that. So actually, I will say this though. I read a book called Alchemist when it was my first book I ever read on my own.
Crazy.
Like I was 16, 17, and I was just getting into reading like business books and things like that. And I just picked up, I think I Googled like best books to read or something like that. And Alchemist came up, and I hate reading fiction books. I still haven't read a fiction book on my own since The Alchemist, but it was the first one I picked up, man, and it was talking about alchemy, like the kid, like he was on this journey, and it's all about, he meets the alchemist who, you know,
right, exactly. So I feel like I'm the type of person who lives my life as an alchemist. Before I even knew what the word was, that's how I knew, like, it's me. You know what I mean? Before I even looked into what it meant to be an alchemist. And to be an alchemist is just to make the best of any situation. You know what I'm saying? I grew up a particular way where I had to make the best of every situation because I refused to be in a position that I saw around me. You know what I'm saying? So it helped my life so much, even through all the hardships, all the struggle, all the times I wanted to give up and just stop and just didn't want to do something no more. That actually branded and built me to know that I can flip any situation into a positive, or at least I can see the light in any situation. At least that. Maybe I can't completely turn it around and flip it, but I can see the light in this. I can see where I learned from this. You know what I'm saying? I can see why this couldn't go where I wanted it to go right now. I can take that. And I can take that. And I can eat that. I can eat that all day long. I can eat that all day long as I'm aware of what's going on around me. And being an alchemist and making sure that everything goes in a fashion that is presentable, I would say, to other people, but as well as real to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing, say we're in a situation and it get into an argument and, you know, people want to fight. I'm not an arguing person. You know what I'm saying? But in that situation, it might seem like the only thing I can do to win in the situation is argue back with you. And really, in that case, in that instance, I'm gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna just dismiss myself from the situation. You know what? And then I'm gonna go back and reflect on that moment. And I'm gonna say, I can see why I was put in that situation, because ultimately I came out on top because I control myself. I have self-control. I have more self-control than this person. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I use my alchemy. Maybe not in every situation, because sometimes I might want to move. I might say that. But as long as I have that self-reflection at the end of the day, I feel like I can't go wrong because I'm doing the work. I'm doing the inner work on myself. You know what I'm saying? I know what happened in the situation. I reflected on the situation. I didn't just let the situation go on and just, you know what I'm saying, never talk about it, think about it. And I think about everything. I can't help it. Like you said, there's a lot up there. There's a lot up there. There's a lot up there. There's a lot everywhere, man. But yeah, like real mentality, man. I really love your mentality and what I get to see from YouTube, Instagram, your website. I got to read up on a few things articles that, you know, people have done with you. I've watched the video I think the Twin City Fashion Week in 2017. Mm-hmm. 2017.
Oh, actually, 2019. Yeah.
I was like, I seen that date, but I couldn't remember. Okay, so that was 2019. So that was just the past year. Yeah. So, excuse me. Oh, sorry. I saw that video and I was like, man, this is a guy that I know that I want to talk to. Somebody I know I want to, trying to praise you or nothing. You don't know crazy stuff, but I really do want you to understand that you are the type of person who motivates people a lot younger than you. You know what I'm saying? How old are you right now?
24. About to be 25 in a couple weeks.
You about to be 25 in a couple weeks. We 20. We're 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? And being able to talk to you and not necessarily have to go through the same struggles that you did because we're learning from you. You know what I'm saying? That's how you pay it forward. You know what I'm saying? This is how you pay it forward. You come talk to the people that's younger than you. You come put them on the type of game that you weren't allowed to get forward, that you never got put on.
At the age that we are, yeah.
At the age that we are, bro. So we really appreciate you, man. It's so much you want to say. It's so much.
Yeah,
it's so much.
Really, basically, all right, so I did have another question though. So how did you get into like making clothing for like workouts? Like, so what I'm really trying to say is like you could have went any other route. So what made you want to pick out like the workout clothing?
True. It's because even though fashion is my my main career path, mm-hmm. I've always wanted to encourage people to get in the gym. Yeah. You know, even though I'm a style guy, like the gym played such a huge part in my life, man. It was either I was gonna start just a traditional clothing brand with just t-shirts and hoodies, or not even t-shirts and hoodies, like leather jackets, like really go with the designer route, or I was gonna make a fitness brand. And I decided to go with the fitness brand because it's just a huge part of my life, man. I can't have that not be a part of my personal brand or a part of anything that I'm doing. I have to have fitness in it somehow, some way. Most people that go into the fitness clothing, the fitness apparel industry, usually they're trainers who go into the clothing industry and they know nothing about the clothing industry. I'm like the 0.001%. I was a fashion guy that went into the fitness industry. So then it's just a whole different mentality, a whole different approach to it. So that's why I felt comfortable being able to do that. I'm comfortable telling people I'm starting a fitness clothing brand because I'm a clothing guy. Like I'm not just like regular average Joe that just wants to make t-shirts. I actually put a lot of money and energy into every single piece. So it's actually a fashion piece. It's not just a piece of something you wear to the gym.
Talk about it. Like really let them know, because that's how much that means to you. You put the money and you put the time and energy into all of this. That's what everyone needs to know about your brand when they consider buying it to go work out. You know what I'm saying? They need to know that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into this, and so they can know that this is a company that will continue to produce and will continue, or it'll have some type of a beneficial effect on my life just because of the energy that you put into the brand. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We overlook so many small little details all the time, but you simply making your apparel and selling your apparel with all the right intention behind it can go way further than you could ever imagine than somebody who just was trying to make a quick dollar.
Definitely, because that's like, it's different. Like, you took the different route and it's going good for yourself. And people, like, overall would probably respect that because, like, you're doing something different. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know I respect it. Like, you really have no choice but to respect it. Like, somebody taking a different route and doing the same thing but doing it different, you have no choice but to respect it.
You don't got no choice. You don't got no choice, man. But look, check me out, man. So I said this to you a little earlier, but I want you to answer this question for me the best way that you can. So the question is, why is DJ Hargrave?
So, man, my answer to that is because of my parents. First of all, they instilled the values in me of having faith, of being courageous, of being independent, of being self-determined. And those are some of the core values that made me who I am today. I didn't, it takes a village to raise a kid. I didn't do it on myself. I didn't make myself on my own. It was all the values that were instilled in me by, like, not just my parents, but even going forward to the people that I met at High Point University, all the people that had such a positive influence on me that told me that I was supposed to be something more than just like someone that got a degree and just got a job and that was it.
Right.
So the reason why DJ is Hargrave is because of the people around me, man, and just the faith that they instilled in me and the positive words that they instilled in me. Because if it wasn't for them, it would just be me in my own little echo chamber, and who knows where I'd be then. If it was just me and I didn't have the people I had around me, I don't know where I'd be.
You need people around you. Like, you need them people to learn. Like, especially like you said, like in college, like I feel like college, that's the best like learning experience because you have people around you that's somewhat going through the same things that you're going through. Like college is one point where everybody, like, all right, we're all going through the struggle, so we're here for each other. We know what we gotta do. We know what we gotta do to get better. So like the struggle, like that's one thing. The struggle. Like you learn from the struggle. Man. You have to learn from the struggle in order to be successful to me. Like this is just a big thing.
Yeah, you got to, because everybody gonna struggle. You can't get around it, bro. You can't get around the struggle. Stop trying to avoid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Run straight through and see if you die. I do this all the time. See if you die. Run straight through and see if you die. If you make it out, I bet you won't. I bet you won't die. I promise you. If you put enough faith into yourself, your belief system, your work ethic, you can accomplish literally whatever you want to do in your life. And that's fact. nobody is going to change my mind on that because I'm living proof of it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I know you can't change my mind. I'm not just talking just to talk. Like, I have a story just like everyone else. You know what I'm saying? I'm living proof that if you put your mind, energy, time, and into what you in faith, into what you want to accomplish, you can't beat it, man. You can't beat it, man. Then you'll find your people. You can't do it without people. You can't do nothing in this life without others. You know what I'm saying? But it's also the right others as well. You know, you got people that you could be around that they there. They definitely there. You know what I'm saying? They definitely have a presence in your life. But are they the right people for your goals, your passions, you know what I'm saying, what you want to accomplish in life? Do they share the same faith as you? You know what I'm saying? All these things, your circle. You know, what do they like to tell you? The 5 people you closest to is the people you become, or something like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The 5 people you most closest to are the people you become. True. Man, if that's true, I'm trying to hang out with people making the bread. I'm trying to hang out with people that's making it happen, making a better life for themselves. That's what I want to see. That's what I love to see. That's why I like to talk to you. That's why I want to talk to you, because you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're out here doing it. And I have people, like I said, we're 20 years old, so we are relatively young. So we got friends that aren't on the same type of time. And we got some friends that are past this type of time. You know what I'm saying? So we're here. We're here where we are, playing our role. Because everybody has a role. I feel like we all have to play our role in this thing. And this thing life, man. You find your lane and you stay in it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with being you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. And with that being said, man, is there any last things you want the people to hear, the last things that you want the people to know about DJ Hargrave, Fashion Week, blogger, High Point University graduate, anything you got up and coming, going on, past you want to talk about, or just a simple who you are to the people for the one last time, if that's what you want to end on.
Yeah, so I guess the last thing I'll touch on something you just talked about with struggle. And then I'll talk a little bit about what's coming next for Modern Greg. So I feel like it's appropriate to just for what we're doing.
Talk to me.
So yeah, just the last note, man, for anyone that's struggling, because whether you're struggling, with your business or with something personally, one thing I can say, being on this journey, bro, where I have worked to where I feel like I'm bleeding out my eyeballs, man. I worked so hard, bro. Like how I struggled, or how I got through the struggle was it's just like reps. Like reps, kind of like when you're in the gym and you bench press over and over and over again, and you get stronger each time. And the thing about weightlifting is that it's like 99% mental. The reason, someone can bench 300 pounds is not because it's not just because their body can. 99% of it is because they know they can. Right. Because they've done it before. So when you pick it up, you're not freaking out because it's like, okay, I've done this before.
That anticipation that you can't anticipate. What they used to tell us when we played, we used to be on the field. You know what I'm saying? We played football together, man. Stop thinking, just go. Just do it. Stop thinking, just do. Stop anticipating and react. You know what I'm saying? And have that confidence behind yourself, man. Like you said, it's 90% mental. I believe life, the majority of life is mental. You know what I'm saying? It's how you perceive things, how you look at it. How is it going to work for you? That's your job. That's your responsibility. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah. So so it's just that you do that exercise over and over again. So you just have belief that you'll get through it. So it's the same thing with struggle in business, in life, anything. Like you go through something, man, and you just you get through this little thing, and then it builds like a muscle. And you get through the next thing, and then the next thing, and next thing, and it gets to a point where it's like. You're not even stressed about it.
Because you know the process.
Yeah.
You know the process. Yeah. You trust the process. I know you probably tell that all the time. Trust the process. You got to. That's like something that's just instilled in you. If you have a strong mentality, you know you have to trust the process. Yeah. You don't get around it. You gotta feel everything that comes your way. But if you can take that thing full force and just go straight through it, where else could you be the next day? You know what I'm saying? And the next day. And the next day. If you keep just keep having that. You building that little muscle every time. A little more muscle, a little more muscle. Muscle memory my physical muscle, they all work the same.
Mm-hmm. It literally is, man.
It all work the same.
It is.
It does, bro.
And then that's just it, man. If you're struggling, just keep going, because the thing is, like, you'll build reps and you'll build trust and belief in yourself that you'll get through anything that you go through, literally. So that's the thing with that. And then the last thing is just a little announcement of Modern Grit. So this summer I'm gonna do the hometown launch. This is my first time announcing it. The hometown drop. It's gonna be dedicated to Winston-Salem.
Dedicated to the trade.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah. Limited edition items. There will be Winston-Salem on the clothing. So that's just a big thing. I've come in like this summer, sometime this summer, like July, August. I don't want to put a date on it, but just know it's coming this summer. Something just for Winston-Salem. I'm going to try to make a big thing out of it. Just try to spread word as much as possible. Because this brand was born and raised in Winston-Salem. So,
we'll be here for it. You know, we're here to support it. We'll be pushing it out too. So that's all.
You want to connect and you want us to be in on that journey with you. You know, we got you. We're going to continue to do this for community. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a big thing that we need to take from just this session right here, is how important community is to people's lives. I know everybody's struggling with pandemic, mental health, and so many other things right now. But I encourage people to go out into your community, you know what I'm saying, or do something for your community. You know what I'm saying? If it's just going to a barbershop, talking with the old heads, you know what I'm saying? Do something, you know what I'm saying, that's going to take your mind out of just, because I know so many people right now struggling mentally. It's so many people struggling mentally right now and don't see that light at the end of the tunnel. But if you just come here and have a sit down with the way, I bet you we can change all, we can turn that frown right upside down, because you're going to know where you want to go. You're going to know the way. You're going to know the direction of this. You might not know where you're going to be in the next year or in the next month, even the next day. But what you do know, what you do need is direction. You know what I'm saying? You got to know which way am I going. What J. Cole said, good news is you came a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Bad news is you went the wrong way. Come on, man. Real stuff right here. And so I like to just wrap this podcast up. I just dab you up and thank you so much for talking to us again. DJ Hargrave, I'm going to drop everything right here for y'all to go follow all of his pages and do everything y'all need to do to get connected with this man, because he's a big man. He's a big man. All right, it's Anew, it's Avanti, it's the way.
I just been getting my weight up, can't stop to be paid up. I know them niggas.